Hi, and welcome to Crafts with Ash DIY and Decor. My name's Ashley, and today I'm going to take you along with me as I decorate my dining room for fall. Now, this dining room came out so festive, so fun, and there's so many different areas of the dining room, but I can't wait for you to see the tablescape because that is my favorite part. I absolutely loved how it came out. If you haven't done so already, if you wouldn't mind, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. If you love all things DIY, home decor, room makeovers, room refreshers, hauls, then this is definitely the channel for you. So subscribe so you can be notified about all my upcoming videos. I upload a couple times a month, and with the holidays coming up and of course spooky season, you know I'm going to be uploading a lot more fun content, so stay tuned. Now, before we get into the decorating, I wanted to show you something I've been working on. So this is a hutch that I flipped, and don't mind the raw wood there. I am just waiting to stain it. I'm just trying to find the perfect color. But this hutch did have doors. So I was racking my brain on how I wanted to decorate the back part of that wall that you can kind of see there. And I thought maybe I could take the doors from the hutch and make it into decor pieces, and then I can decorate them season round. So I'm going to very quickly take you through how I turned these doors into just hanging decor pieces. And this is not a tutorial by any means. Maybe it'll give you some ideas or inspiration to take some pieces you already had and flip them and use them for a different purpose. But I just quickly wanted to show you what I have been up to and how I did it. So the first thing I did was take off all the hardware. So after I took all the hardware off, you can see that that inside piece was kind of falling off. So I just went ahead and hot glued it. I could have used wood glue or a stronger glue, but remember, these aren't going to be used as doors. These are just decor pieces. They're not going to be touched a lot. Now, it did have that shiny varnish or top coat on it, so I went ahead and sanded these down. So after it was all sanded down and wiped off, I just went ahead and gave the front of these doors 3 coats of Waverly chalk paint in the color Ivory. I decided to go with just regular Waverly chalk paint because it's just so much easier to work with, and to be honest, you know, like I said, these are not going to be actually used as doors. They're just going to be hanging on the wall. Okay, so this is after 2 coats. Now you can see I couldn't get the middles here, but when I flip them over to do the back, I'll hit that. But this is after 2 coats. I was really hoping I could get away with 2 coats, but I think I'm gonna have to do 3. I'm gonna distress these anyway, so like I'm gonna sand them down, but it's just not enough coverage. I think it does definitely need 1 more coat. So I'm gonna have to end up doing 3 coats on at least on the front, and maybe the back I can kind of get away with less because it's not going to be seen. They're just going to be hanging on the wall. But I do like the color a lot. So while this is drying, I'm going to go ahead and work on the handles. Okay, so for this part, I'm going to use this metallic paint and primer, and it's oil rub bronze, and I got it from Lowe's. And I use this literally on everything, so let's go ahead and do that. So I actually ended up not using those plates, like those flat pieces. I ended up just using the knobs, and I really liked how that came out. So I sprayed paint those, and then once those 3 coats dried, I went ahead and flipped the door over, and I did the same thing, and I sanded them down, wiped them down. And for the backs, I just went ahead and just put 1 coat of the Waverly chalk paint, because just in case, like, you could see through the little window parts. But it did not have to be, you know, perfect. It didn't have to be fully covered. It was fine if it was just, you know, just 1 coat. Now, before I painted, I did take off all this hardware, like the hinges and everything. So I needed to go ahead and fill the holes. Now, to do this, I just used caulk. It's what I had because we had just caulked some spots in my kitchen, and my spackle was all dried up. And you know what? This worked just fine. And it blended right in with the paint because, you know, it was kind of the same color. So I just went ahead and filled all the holes on the sides and on the back, and then sanded it down once, the caulk dried, and then went ahead and gave this just one coat of Waverly chalk paint ivory. Now the hardest part was just getting in all the nooks and crannies of these doors, but honestly, it was fine, and they still came out looking so, so good. So after the back dried, I went ahead and flipped them over to the front, and I'm taking a really coarse piece of sandpaper, and I am just sanding random spots to make it look distressed. And I really, really loved the detail that this added. So I'm just going kind of like around the edges and paying attention to the corners, and I really am pushing down on my sandpaper to go ahead and bring out that natural wood that was underneath. So I love distressing like this, and this is pretty much what I did to the hutch itself. Now for the hutch, I actually used a different paint, but this ivory paint was so close to it, I thought that it would look really good all together. So I just went through on both doors and went ahead and sanded it down. Now, something I was stuck on was how to hang these to the wall because, of course, these were doors. They were attached to the hutch. So I called in some reinforcement, which was my dad. And the problem that we faced was these originally came with hardware that stuck out in the back. And when we kind of put it against the wall, it really scratched up my wall because they stuck out. And so my dad came up with this idea where he just drilled a couple holes all around the glass, and I did go ahead and replace the glass at this point. And then he is just screwing in a screw so that it's holding down the glass, if that makes sense. Because like I said, the pieces that this came with, it stuck out because, again, they were supposed to be doors, and it would have just scratched up my wall. I guess I didn't really give like a very good view of the hardware at first or at the beginning, but this worked perfectly to hold in the glass, so we didn't have to worry about the glass falling out. So he just did this all around the inside of the door, and he did it on both. Once the glass was secure in both my doors, I actually had him hang the shelf that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. It was originally, I believe, $19.99, but I got it for 50% off, so it was $10. I was gonna get a shelf, paint it, do all that, blah, blah, blah. But honestly, for $10, I was like, I'm just so tired. I just want to get this project done at this point. Now, it does look like it's at an angle. I promise you it's not. It's completely level. It's my camera. It's the stand. It's angled. So he went ahead and hung the shelf, and my plan is to hang these doors on either side. And to hang the doors, we lucked out. He happened to have 4 of those picture hangers in his tools already. And so he just added those to the back, 2 on each door, 1 on each side, and he hung up my doors. Now, as you can see there, we also did replace the knob. I forgot to show that. But like I said, this was just a quick little peek into what we did, and look how that came out. I absolutely love it. So now that back wall is ready to go, let's go ahead and decorate my new decor pieces. So for the shelf, I'm going to go ahead and add this Harvest Blessing sign. It's been in my stash for years. I don't even know where it came from. Then that vase came from Target. You might have seen in my living room decorate with me that I had that and the eucalyptus in my living room as well. I bought 2 of them because I just loved it so much. So I'm going to go ahead and add that little floral arrangement. And then I have this copper pumpkin that was actually on a stand on a stake from the Dollar Tree. So I just took the stake off because I'm really loving that copper look this year. And then I'm just going to add that. Now you're going to see that I play around with this, and even in the final images or video, you're going to see that it looks a little different than how I decorated it here. But I am just kind of, adding things, taking it out. So as you can see, at first I had that little acorn, then I had that pumpkin, and now I'm going to start moving things around. So I'm just going to go ahead and let the music play and show you how I decorated the shelf. So once the shelf was done, I actually had these wreaths, and actually they fold out, so I don't even think they're supposed to be wreaths, but that's what I'm going to use them for. I happen to have two of them. Again, they've been in my stash forever. I added a ribbon and a command hook to the top of that door, and I kind of felt like they were boring, so I had these bows from the Dollar Tree in my craft room. So I went ahead and added a bow to each one of my little wreaths and then hung them on the doors, and this is what I had in mind when I thought of the doors. So I love how this back wall looks now, and it's just, I just love it. Now, the reason why the shelf is higher up is because I don't want the person sitting in that chair to bump their head. Okay, moving on to my corner shelf. This corner shelf I got from Hobby Lobby around Christmas time, and I thought I was recording when I put these leaves on. They're just like regular leaves, but I'm sorry, I forgot to push record, but good thing I caught it before I started actually decorating it. But I just threw some leaves on each one of the little shelves, and then this is actually a piece I made in one of my DIY videos. So is this. This is another DIY. So I'm just going to go ahead and put those on there. And then here's that little acorn from Target Dollar Spot. For the second shelf, I'm going to add this Pumpkin Love little, like, I think it's supposed to be a watering can. It's a Rae Dunn piece, and I absolutely love the color. I love how it looks. And then on the third shelf, I'm going to add this amber vase that I got on clearance from Hobby Lobby. I just added some Dollar Tree florals. You guys know I'm not good at flower arrangements. I literally just throw stuff in a vase and call it done. And then well, speaking of the devil, there's another vase that I just threw stuff in and called it done. And then I have this little pumpkin patch pumpkin I'm going to add to that shelf. And then to the bottom, I have this really cute squirrel, and he's holding this little, like, I think it's supposed to be an acorn, I'm not sure, but I actually picked up a pack of acorns from the Target Dollar Spot this year with this in mind. So what I did was just kind of stuff it to add some height, and then I just added all those little acorns into his little bucket or basket, and I just thought this came out so cute. This was my daughter's favorite because, I don't know, I just think the acorns, I think she just loved, like, the acorns, and I really love the gold. I think it really, like, matches everything on the shelf. So this shelf is super simple, and after I added the squirrel, this shelf was complete. Okay, moving on to my favorite part of the room. So we're going to go ahead and decorate the dining room table. Don't mind the mess in the hallway. I have everything laid out, kind of what I'm going to be doing. So the first thing I did was add this burlap runner. I think I got it on Amazon last year, and we could really get them anywhere. Then this garland I actually picked up on clearance last year after the fall season from Big Lots. And then these I found in my boxes. I have no idea where these lit leaves came from, but I was like, hey, I'm gonna use them. So what I decided to do was actually add that down first and kind of flatten it a little bit, and then I'm gonna put that garland on top, and I absolutely loved how that came out. Now don't worry about that battery pack. We're gonna kind of build on top of this so it will hide it. So I just went ahead and added my garland back. Now I wanted this to be all on the burlap runner. I think that the burlap runner is perfect to anchor all of this. And now I'm going to add these amber jars that I absolutely love. They were $7.99 each, but I got them for 50% off because technically they're in the fall section. So I got two for $8. I did not think that was bad at all. So I'm just going to add one on either side. And then I brought in my DIY candle holders. Now, here's the thing with these candle holders, and I should have known this when I made them in my video, but I went ahead and placed them down, but they gave me so much trouble, like, standing. So you're going to see that they keep falling over. Don't worry, we are going to address that in just a little bit, but I wanted to show you that I actually did use them. So I'm just going to go ahead and put one on either side, and I loved the colors of these. These were my favorite DIY in the video that I made, and you can check that video out. It was just a few videos ago. You know, just check out the content on my page. Now, this glass pumpkin, again, I've had for years, and I just stuffed it with a bunch of cheap garlands from Dollar Tree, and then they do have a strand of lights inside. So now I'm just kind of going to build this up by adding pine cones, pumpkins, mini pumpkins, and I used like those leather pumpkins too from the Dollar Tree and from Target Dollar Spot. And then I realized that I forgot to light my the light inside, so I'm just going to go ahead and turn that on. And look how pretty they twinkle. I love that. So, and just wait, I'm going to show you like a shot of all of this in the dark, and it looks so pretty. So now what I'm going to do is stop the camera, run upstairs, and add a base to my pumpkin candle holders. And what those are, just those wooden pumpkins. That's all I had. That's all I could think of. Now, don't worry. I'm going to hide it in such a way that you're not going to see the base. I could have stained it, but I was honestly trying to just go really fast. But that really helped to keep them from falling over. Next, I'm just going to add these florals from the Dollar Tree to each one of my amber vases. Now, if you'll notice, I changed out the vase in the middle, but in just a second, I'm going to put my lit pumpkin back in. I thought I was going to try something different, and then I didn't, but back goes my pumpkin. I just think it's so pretty. And it reminds me of Cinderella's carriage for some reason. I don't know. I just think it's really neat. And again, I love things that light up. And I'm really into that amber look this year. All right, so for my place settings, I have these felt leaves. I believe I got them from Hobby Lobby last year, probably on clearance. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put one on either, or on each 4 of the settings, place settings. And then to go on top, I'm going to take these wood chargers that I got a couple years ago from the Dollar Tree, but I believe they still have them. So I'm going to place those on top of the leaves. Then these plates I actually got from the Dollar Tree as well a couple years ago. And I love these because they have the burnt orange. They do have some brighter ones as well, but I opted to go with these because I just loved the colors. So I'm going to put the plate on top of the chargers. And then these napkins I got from Hobby Lobby a couple years ago. Now, you can't really tell, but they do have like kind of gold sparkles. So that's why I loved it. And then these napkin rings also came from Hobby Lobby a couple years ago. And they had like different colors. So you're going to see some different like finishes of them too. So like see there's like a darker one. So I just went ahead and put these on top of the plates. And I really loved how these napkins looked. Lastly, I'm going to take these amber glasses that I got on clearance from Hobby Lobby. You might have seen them in my haul. They were $2.99 each, and I just added 1 to each place setting, and that finished off the place settings. So I'm in love with these glasses, and I love how they really pair well with the amber vases in the middle too. I really loved how my dining room table came out. I thought it was so super cute. I thought they were so pretty. I just love this look. It's gorgeous. And I'm just finishing off with some big, like large pine cones, probably from Hobby Lobby. But let me know what you think of my table. Okay, moving on to the bar cart. I'm actually going to add these copper little cups or Moscow Mule cups. And these are actually my sister's. She let me borrow them for the fall season because I really wanted to decorate with copper. I thought that it would look really pretty, and I love this for fall. So I'm just going to go ahead and add 2 on my little tray. Then this little sign or tray I'm adding, I actually made in a DIY last year, but I think it was in that big video I shared this year too. And then I have this bubbly container. I never freaking know what to put in this thing. I don't even know why I bought it, to be honest with you, but I still don't love how it looks, but I just went ahead and stuffed it and added some sparkly pumpkins, and that completed the top. I did add some like little things here and there that you'll see in the final look, but this bar cart I just did very simple. So yeah, so I don't know. I'm going to be honest, I don't love how the bar cart came out, but, maybe, you know, if I sit with it for a few days, I might make some changes. That's kind of what I do. I like sit and stare at things, but I don't know. Just let me know what you think. So that's the top. So then moving down to the bottom, I wanted to remove everything silver because it's not really going with my fall vibes. So I'm going to remove the ice bucket and then the mixer. And then I decided to go ahead and move the tray to the other side, although you're going to see me play around with this too. I don't know why this bar cart just gave me so many issues when it came to being creative and decorating with it, or decorating it. So I went ahead and added a garland just to go ahead and add some color down there, or just some substance down there. And then I had 2 more of these copper cups, so I'm going to add those to my little Lazy Susan. And then I had this like vase, like wine bottle looking thing. It was already in my stash. I have no idea where it came from. So I went ahead and threw that down there. And then this Ray Dunn acorn I threw too. But you're going to see me, I'm going to kind of change some stuff up because like I said, I just was not loving this. And I still don't know if I'm loving it. I don't know. I want to know what you think. So I'm just going to go ahead and play around with it, and then you'll see the final result. This is your friendly reminder that if you love what you see so far, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Not only does it really help my channel to grow, but it tells YouTube you love what you see and you want to see more. So definitely smash that like button. Now to the handle, I always add a themed towel. I got this 2-pack from the Target dollar spot for $5, so I thought I'd add this pumpkin towel, and I always just add it right over the one that hangs there so I don't lose that one. I know that sounds silly, but I would probably lose it. And I thought that, you know, I love that burnt orange, and so it was the perfect little addition. So here is the overview of my bar cart. I don't know, the jury's still out on this one. I might make some changes, but let me know down in the comments what you think about it. Okay, now it's time to go ahead and move on to the Hutch. I saw this sign on Amazon, and this sign inspired the whole look for my Hutch. Here's a better look at it, but if you can see it down at the bottom, it says hay rides, apple cider, and pumpkins, and then it's supposed to represent a fall market. So this Hutch is going to be fall market themed. So this was the perfect size to go ahead and fit on the top of my Hutch. Then moving down to the middle, I had made this display last year for like a flower bar, and I change it up every season, so it's goes from flowers to pumpkins to Halloween apothecary. So you're going to see this being used again next month. And then like a Christmas tree farm. So I made this little sign too. On one side it says flower market, and then I made it reversible so I could get 2 for 1. And it says pumpkin patch. So this is going to bring in the pumpkin part of the fall market. Then I have just a bunch of these little random pumpkins and the little mini hay bales from the Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to use those items to go ahead and create a little pumpkin patch. And I love how this little display came out. I did it last year. And it's just so fun and so cute. If you want the tutorial on how I made this display, I can go ahead and link it down below. And it was super simple. Now, of course, I should have done this before I made my little display, but I forgot I wanted to put like a little leaf garland. And you can see I'm kind of putting it towards the back because I didn't want it to be like front and center, but just to add a little touch. Now, moving down to the bottom, this is where we're going to bring in the other elements from the fall market. So I have this little crate from the Target dollar spot around springtime, and I'm just going to go ahead and add some raffia to use as kind of like straw. And then I have a bag of these little corn husks or corn things. So I'm just going to go ahead and add the corn inside this little crate. Now I know that the sign didn't say anything about corn, a corn maze or anything, but you know, when you think of a pumpkin patch, they do have a corn maze there. So I wanted to bring in that element. Plus I needed 3 little displays at the bottom here. So I thought that that would be perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and arrange all my corn in this crate, and then to elevate this, I'm actually going to use another one of these wood logs, put it in the corner, and then put my crate of corn right on top. Then to move on to the middle, I am going to first, again, I forgot I wanted to add a leaf garland, so I'm going to go ahead and add that. Now you can see it's a different color than the one on the top or in the middle row of my hutch or middle shelf, but this actually matches the garland on the top shelf, and you'll see that in just a minute. So I'm just going to go ahead and again I'm going to put it towards the back just to add a little something. Now I'm going to put this super cute stool that I got on clearance from Hobby Lobby, and then another one of those logs in the corner because I'm going to add something on top of that. But going back to the stool, I have these little bales of hay from the Dollar Tree. So I'm going to put 2 on top. And then I have this little wagon that I actually made last year in a DIY. I put a little hay bale in the wagon, and then I'm going to arrange 2 more because I actually got this tractor from the Dollar Tree. Now it was on a stake, so I had to go ahead and take that off. But this is going to represent hay rides, and I thought that that was so cute. Then the last little area is just this little barrel of red apples, and I also made like a little sign that said 50 cents. I made that last year, but it was in my boxes, so I just thought I'd throw that in there too. Now I am going to take this sign from the Dollar Tree, and as you can see, it says hay rides, apple picking, and corn maze. I just went ahead and scored each little spot with an X-Acto knife, and I just cut these little sayings out, and now I'm just going to put them with their respective displays. And I thought that this was so cute to go ahead and bring in or represent that fall market. So now you have a pumpkin patch, corn maze, hay rides, apple picking, your perfect day, you know, at the farm. So I felt like the middle shelf still needed something, so I'm going to go ahead and add these pumpkins that I got from the Target dollar spot. They are supposed to be for Halloween, but I love the colors, so I'm just going to turn them around, and I'm going to add 1 of each on either side, and that completed my hutch, which also completed my dining room. So let me know what you think of everything and, you know, how you think it all came out. So here's just an overview and just kind of a last look of everything we decorated today in my dining room. And like I said, there were just a lot of little different areas to go ahead and add decor to. So you're going to have to let me know in the comments what your favorite part was. I already said it. Mine is this tablescape. I absolutely love the amber. I love the fall colors. It's traditional yet so stunning. I just love the lights and how it lights up at night, and just it sets a really neat fall ambiance. But you're gonna have to let me know what your favorite part was. Also, don't forget, if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and make sure to turn on your notifications. I do have one more fall decorate with me, and that's going to be the big front porch, so you're definitely not going to want to miss it. And then we're going to start moving into Halloween stuff, so definitely turn those notifications on. But I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you got a lot of ideas and inspiration on how you can decorate some areas and spaces in your home. And hey, until I see you again, I'll decorate with you soon. Bye.